Students, today we will proceed with the class 11 chapter, that is political science and its evolution. Today we will take up the topic, is political science a science? In the last three videos we have covered a major portion of the chapter, only a little bit portion of the chapter is left. So let us first concentrate on the topic, is political science a science? The word science in the subject political science creates a lot of confusion among the students, that whether it is a science, then if it is a science subject, why we are studying it in humanities, or whether it is not a science. Now we need to find the answer to this question, that whether political science is a science or not. When we want to find this answer to this question, we find that the scholars are divided into two groups. One group of scholars who believe that political science is a science, another group of scholars who believe that it is not a science. Scholars like Aristotle, Hobbes, Sidgwick, Lord Bryce, they are of the opinion that it is definitely a science, and Aristotle is of the opinion that it is the science of the highest degree. Whereas the scholars like Buckle, Burke or Maitland, they do not consider political science as a science. And there are arguments both for and against this particular question. Now first we will learn, or we will know about the arguments of those scholars who are of the opinion that political science is not a science. For them, the arguments, the first argument that they put forward is the vastness of the subject. The subject is vast. We study so many things in political science, and because the subject matter is so vast, we cannot accurately specify it, or we cannot accurately follow the methods of learning a science subject. In case of most of the science subjects, what we find that we know what we are learning about. It is specific, it is clearly mentioned, and obviously the students are having a view or an opinion about what we study in physics or in chemistry, if we take that example. But in case of political science, we find that we study so many things. We study the state, we study the political theories, we study the governmental organizations, international relations, power, influence, authority. So this vastness of the subject, or this vast nature of the subject, is one thing that does not make it a science subject. Another argument given by them is that it is impossible to apply the scientific methods. Now first we need to know, what do we mean by scientific methods? In case of the study of science, we find that we follow the general rules of experiment, observation, and then coming to an inference of what we have observed. That is how in science we come to conclusions, or we draw our inferences from there. In case of political science, firstly it deals with human beings, it deals with human behavior, it deals with organizations formed by human beings, and as a result we cannot apply the scientific methods of experiment, classification, observation, and then inference. In a particular political event or happening cannot be experimented in the laboratory. We cannot take this thing in a lab and experiment it and then come to a conclusion about it. That means it is difficult to establish the relation between cause and effect in case of political science. We cannot, and we have to remember that as we are dealing with human beings, the human behavior changes, and we cannot exactly recreate that entire thing in the lab and then come to the conclusion. So these methods that we follow in the study of physics or chemistry is not applicable in case of political science. So from that point of view, it is not a science. And as we cannot follow the scientific methods in the study of political science, the scientific methods means the methods of experiment, observation, and inference. So we cannot make the predictions. We cannot tell that if this is the cause, then this is the result. If this is the political problem, then obviously this is the result that we are going to get. This kind of predictions in case of political science, according to this group of scholars, is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because the cause and effect cannot be established. We are again dealing with human behavior, and we cannot say that everywhere the person or the human beings or the individuals will react to this in the same, exactly the same way as they have reacted in other cases or in other places. So from this point of view, political science is not a science. Then there is another argument that in political science we depend on theory. No doubt, it is true that we study a lot of theories given by the political scholars, and according to this group of scholars who believe that political science is not a science, for them there is too much dependence on theory rather than on data. What is the meaning of theory and data? Theory, or we can say it is an assumptions, but it is not devoid of facts or evidences. It is assumption, whereas data is much more concrete. From that point of view, political scholars are of the opinion that as we depend too much on theory rather than on the data, so from that point of view, political science is not a science. So the subject is vast. We study a lot of things. We cannot make any generalization in case of political science. We cannot apply the scientific methods that we follow in the study of physics or chemistry. And as we cannot apply the scientific methods, obviously we cannot make the predictions in case of political happenings. Moreover, there is too much dependence on theory rather than on data or evidences as such. So from this point of view, political science is not a science. Now let us take up the arguments given by those group of scholars who believe that political science is a science. From their point of view, we can make a general rule, we can generalize in case of political science. Now, regarding the argument against the subject, I have told you that as we are dealing with human behavior, there is no uniformity. Means human beings or individuals in different regions, different parts, or in different situations react in different way. Maybe the situation also may be same, but they are reacting in a different way. So these reactions are not uniform or same all over the places. But this group of scholars, they are of the opinion that there is some amount of uniformity or some amount of consistency in the behavior of individuals given the same situation. If they are experiencing the same political problems, then there is some amount of consistency in their behavior, or we find that there is something same. The individuals are reacting in a more or less same manner. So if there is uniformity in behavior, then obviously we can make a general rule. We can generalize and say that if this is the situation, then this will happen. So from this point of view, political science is definitely a science subject. Then comes the second argument, which is saying that we not only depend on theory, we also depend on data. Now there is equal emphasis or equal importance on theory and data in the study of political science. Now if we take up Aristotle's work, Aristotle has observed the working of the city-states, and he had not observed the working of one or two city-states, Greek city-states. He had in fact observed 158 city-states. And based on his observations, he has given, or he has come to conclusion, and he has drawn his inferences. Again, if we take up the case of the Marxist theories, Marx has depended, when he is giving his scientific socialism, there he has depended, or he has taken his input, we can say, from the historical data and fact. He had his entire theory, when you will read about it, you will come to know that it depends on historical evidences and data or facts. So we cannot say that political science depends only on theory or assumptions. Even the theories are based on historical facts and data, and so from that point of view, political science is definitely a science subject. Then a value-free discussion of the subject. Now what we see that the new group of political scholars whom we call the behavioralists, like Robert Dahl, David Easton, Laswell, they are the behavioralists, and from their point of view they have done a realistic approach to the subject. They are not considering the values and everything. They are in fact studying political science from a totally realistic point of view. So from that context also, political science is a science, means we are not considering the ethical or the moral questions. We are generalizing, or we are depending on what we see and how people are reacting, and based on it we are giving the conclusion. So from that point of view, political science is definitely a science. Next comes the acquisition of organized knowledge. It is generally said that the subject is vast, so organized or systematic study is not possible, but in the study of political science also there is a systematic study of this subject. A systematic study in observation, experience, classification, analysis is done, and then we come to the conclusions. So from this point of view, political science is definitely a science. Now the question is then, can it be regarded the way we consider political physics or chemistry as a science? Then from that point of view, political science is not a science from that respect. In that respect, it is not a science in the way physics or chemistry is a science, but it can be placed in the category of the science of meteorology. Meteorology means the weather forecast depending on weather. Now weather forecast we know cannot always be true, means always whatever predictions are being made, whatever forecasts are there, they may not always come true. But we cannot say that meteorology is not a science. Can we say that? No, we cannot say that, because here also we are applying the scientific methods and then we are coming to a conclusion. Now these elements of nature or elements of environment are not, or elements of weather we can say, are not in our hands. How they will react or what will happen in the last moment, we do not know. But even then the forecast help us to have a proper guidance. From that point of view, political science is also a science, because here we apply the method of observation, and based on the observation we come to conclusion. Aristotle had done that, and now also the scholars are doing the same thing, that observation is an integral part in the study of political science. Even if the subject matter is vast, even if there are many things that we depend upon, there are lots of theories, but we have to remember that all these theories, all these conclusions, or all the study is developed on a systematic way, on the method followed by Aristotle and other scholars, that of observation and then coming to a conclusion. From that point of view, political science is a science, or in the words of Lord Bryce, political science is an inexact science, or an incomplete science, or a science in the making. So it is a social science like that of history, economics or sociology, which is applying some methods of science, may not be all the methods, and from that point of view, political science is definitely a science, but not a science in the respect that physics or chemistry is a science. So now we know that whether political science can be called a science or not. So this is a very important question or an important topic of the chapter, that whether it is a science or not a science. So till now we have completed most of the chapter, only a little portion of the chapter is left. You go through, if you have the book with you, you go through the chapter or follow the video and try to write down the points that I have given, I have showed you in the video if you can. And remember one thing, that in the study of political science you have to remember the quotations. They are important for objective questions also. You have to read the book well. Till you get the book, follow the videos. I hope it will help you. Thank you.